At the shutdown and the Democratic Party perspective, House Majority Leader Steny joins us tonight. Mr. Leader, thanks for being here.
Hi, Brett. Thanks a lot. Good to be with you.
First of all, is the State of the Union officially off?
No, I don't think it's officially off. I had not seen the Speaker's letter, which suggests there's a real security problem unless we've opened up the government. And we haven't gotten a reply from the President, his thoughts, so it's not officially off now.
So the Homeland Security Secretary tweeted out, the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Secret Service are fully prepared to support and secure the State of the Union. We thank the service for their mission focus and dedication and for all they do each day and secure our homeland. They suggest there's not an issue here.
Well, I've heard that, and we'll see what the President has to say. But obviously, the Speaker is absolutely correct. This is a very high security event, as you well know. You have all the Supreme Court, you have all the Cabinet, you have the Vice President and the President, the Speaker of the House, and the Majority Leader and Minority Leaders of the United States Senate. So it's a very high security issue. But the other thing, from my perspective, Brett, is we ought not to be doing business as usual with a government shutdown that has 800,000 of its people not getting paid, including every one of the Secret Service agents that would be assigned. Now, it's tough to believe that they're on as high a security alert when they're concerned about whether they're going to get a paycheck and be able to pay their mortgage. So from that standpoint, I think the Speaker's point was well taken, and our position has been we ought to open up this government and then proceed with the business of government while it's operating, not while it's shut down.
Understanding your position, that you think that the President should open up the government now, that you're passing bills to do that, what about the people who turn to you and Speaker Pelosi and say, put something on the table, compromise with something so that the ball is moved down the field?
Well, we're prepared to do that. And very frankly, Brett, we have supported a lot of resources and expansion of the border security personnel, border security technology, all sorts of things that have been designed to make the border more secure. And we're prepared to do so, and we said that down at the White House. Unfortunately, the focus has been on one issue, and that's made it very, very difficult to discuss alternatives, ways of securing the border. We don't think the wall works. As you know, an awful lot of Republicans don't think the wall will work as well. And as you know, the Republicans didn't offer a bill on the floor until December 20th, almost before the year was over, on border security. But we're prepared and want to see good, effective border security to protect Americans and stop drugs and illegal contraband from coming into the country.
Well, here is the Speaker and the Senate Majority Leader today.
A wall is an immorality. It's not who we are as a nation. It's a wall between reality and his constituents, his supporters.
The Speaker has recently defined a brand new dogma for the Democratic Party. Actually enforcing our immigration laws with the help of physical barriers is, quote, an immorality. It seems like Democrats are happy to take their cues from the gentlelady from San Francisco and her extreme fringe position.
Do you agree with that, Mr.
No.
Leader?
With that, the guy I just heard was Senator McConnell. I don't agree.
Immorality.
I don't agree with that. Look, I don't think this is an issue of morality. It's an issue of does it work? And Senator Cornyn, Senator Graham, other members of the United States Senate have put in question whether a wall works, whether that is the best way to secure the border. Now, are some restraints? We've supported substantial restraints. We've supported fencing. We've supported other technologies. My own view is this is not an issue of morality. A wall is immoral if it tries to imprison people who shouldn't be in prison.
Okay.
A wall that protects people is not immoral. I think the issue is whether it works.
You have all kinds of Democrats speaking out about the wall. Yes. Beto O'Rourke, congressman who may be running for president, who knows, said that wall in itself is a racist reaction to a racist myth that does not reflect the reality of this country at all. Do you think a wall or barrier is racist?
Look, Brett.
Listen, Mr. Leader, here's the bottom line.
I don't talk in those terms.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way we ought to look at it. Again, the reason I mentioned Republican senators and House members, and the fact that the House didn't bring a bill to the floor until there were 10 days left in the year, is because there are an awful lot of people who just believe a wall in and of itself will not work, and the wall is not the best place to spend money. That's what I believe.
So for the people who are living in those border states, especially with some barrier that has been constructed, would you remove those existing barriers because you say they don't work?
No.
So they work there.
Brett, let me tell you, you say the people who live on the border area. You talk to the people along the Rio Grande, but particularly a lot of towns that have commerce back and forth on a regular basis and have no problem. That's why Senator Cornyn is not a huge advocate of the wall. And you can ask him and read his quotes. I'm not saying he's not supporting the president in building the wall.
So they work some places.
Obviously they work some places. But the president wanted to first build a wall, apparently 1,954 miles of, and he changed that very substantially. And the debate ought to be not on morality or racism. I will say that we're not pleased with some of the rhetoric that has come about dealing with those coming across the border, and we think some of that rhetoric was in fact racist. We think some of that rhetoric was to inflame and was not based upon facts. But having said that, we're prepared to work with the president to make sure our borders are secure, and that's the important point.
Last thing, Mr. Leader.
We ought not to do it in an environment that he's created of this shutdown of government. It's not helpful.
Last thing. Why not give a lump of money, whatever that number is, a compromise amount, to the Border Patrol and say you do what you think is the best way to secure America? If it includes a wall or a barrier or slats or whatever you want to call it, why not do that? Why is there not a compromise position here, and how long is this going to last?
Look, I think there can be a compromise position. I don't know whether the Border Patrol or some commission or the governors of the 4 border states working together. There are 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans. There are all sorts of alternatives that we could pursue, I think, to come up with a consensus solution to achieve the objective I think we all want to achieve, and that is a secure and safe border for our country and for our citizens.
Mr. Leader, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it very much.